Hey everyone, it's the Fang girl. So I've been getting a lot of questions from my friends who live in the Bay Area because they're genuinely curious about the tech landscape here in Singapore. I think it's also kind of like this enigma because most of the people, including myself, when we were back in San Francisco, we kind of lived in our own like tech bubble. However, I feel like there is so much potential and growth also here in Singapore. So I wanted to do this video on the 4 top tech companies I believe that most people should know in Singapore. The tech stack here is obviously really different, but it is really curated and localized for Singapore's market. And I think that's why it's done so well. It's been really fascinating to also watch these tech companies grow, especially during 2020 when COVID hit, because during that time period, which is honestly still ongoing, a lot of tech companies had to pivot and like change their market strategy. And it was really like sink or swim. So a lot of tech companies did extremely well, and then some just completely, totally tanked. So I just want to talk about these 4 tech companies that I think everyone should know, and it doesn't matter if you're in Singapore, regardless, you should know these names. Number 1 is Carousell. So if you're from the US and you know of Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, I think Carousell is something that you would genuinely like as well. So it's an app, it's a desktop browser, but you're able to buy, sell, trade products, and it's just a very comprehensive app. It's super user-friendly, and I've enjoyed buying secondhand items in Singapore. So for me, I really don't care if something has been used before, as long as it's in good condition, because I just love a good sale. I just love a good sale. Our dining table was also bought secondhand, and it's just phenomenal. I just like, why pay the full price when you can have half the price? So Carousell is really a great platform. My friend has actually sold her house on Carousell, which is honestly just like mind-blowing. The fact that you can sell a house, kind of insane to me and really unheard of. So that was really surprising, and I'll kind of show in the app where and how you can do that. But they also have these like where you can rent and sell templates. You have home services, and you can obviously shop furniture. I've seen some posts where people have actually sold like pets, like their livestock, or they put animals up for adoption. I mean, look at this bunny. It is so cute. It's not just like buying or selling items, but there's like a lot more that comes with it. And I also saw in the app that you can join different community groups. So based on like your mutual interests, whether you're like a sneakerhead or you like fitness or things like that, you can actually join these community groups and ask questions or help answer questions. So I feel like that's a really good feature that Carousell has integrated into their app, and it kind of just like draws people back to the app so that it serves as a marketplace as well as a community. So Carousell honestly is quite impressive. I think it's just a really functional app, and I would imagine if like Facebook could kind of do something similar, that's what I imagine it would have looked like. They've also acquired a string of noteworthy investors like Golden Gate Ventures, DBS, Quest Ventures, and Rakuten. But like all fair share of tech companies that kind of grow out into this marketplace, they've also had to deal with a lot of like counterfeit and like scams that has happened on their platform. So the ride wasn't that easy, but I still think it's a really great functional app, and people should know about it more. And in 2019, they actually merged with 701 Search, which put them over at a $1 billion valuation. So Carousell, you remember that name because they are doing exceptionally well. Especially with COVID, I think people are kind of getting restless when they want to like get rid of their items or sell things. People are like buying things. If you've ever heard of the term revenge shopping, it's kind of like this term I think the Chinese came up with because everyone is stuck at home and like can't travel or do much. The momentum of people wanting to like buy things to make them feel like it's like a normal life again. It's called like revenge shopping. So people are just like buying items. So obviously anything related to like online shopping has increased, and Carousell is doing really well. The second tech company that I want to mention is Grab. So Grab is really like a Swiss knife. I feel like this app has so many different functions. You can obviously grab a ride, see what I did there, and order food. You can even take out a loan, which was really interesting. You can even invest in it because Grab has like their own wallet where you can put money into it and even invest. So I thought that was pretty fascinating. You can get deliveries done for you. So if you had a delivery that you wanted to make, you can have someone pick it up from Grab and then deliver it on your behalf, which was very, very convenient for me because when I did my Fig health fertility test, Fig actually sent a Grab delivery person to pick it up from my house and then drop it off at the hospital. So that was really convenient. You can send virtual angbaos for gift cards or rides. You can invest using your GrabPay wallet, and you can do just really a lot of things with it. And it was really funny because when I was scrolling in my Grab app, I saw this ad for durian delivery, which, if you do not know, Singaporeans love their durian. And it was just funny how it was such a localized ad because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who want durian delivered to their homes because they just love it so much. I think durian is good, but yeah, the smell is something I can't get rid of. Grab is also ranked as Southeast Asia's most valuable startup with a valuation of more than $16 billion. And they actually were able to acquire a digital bank license in Singapore. They also just recently raised a $2 billion for its first term loan. What they're really doing is trying to expand its regional services. Anthony Tan, Group CEO and co-founder of Grab, said that investors really recognize the value of this super app platform as, quote, "we continue making consistent progress in achieving our growth and sustainability milestones." So obviously they have really strong investor backing, kind of urging them to take out a loan so that they can continue expanding their services. The third tech company I think everyone should know is Shopee. I believe if you live in Singapore, you probably see a bunch of Shopee ads. They're like really targeted. If you go to their website, sometimes it just looks like a mess because there's just like so many things to buy and there are so many discounts. I feel like every day is like a day of sales or some reason to like celebrate and to like buy a bunch of things. So I only go on Shopee when I really need something. Otherwise, I feel like I'm going to be like sucked into this like shopping spree excursion, which yeah, that cannot happen. It's very dangerous. It's basically a multinational tech company that really focuses mostly on e-commerce, and it runs as a marketplace. So to me, it reminds me of Amazon. You can really buy anything, like anything from like toilet paper to groceries to electronics to shoes, etc. It also really closely resembles AliExpress if you've ever seen it. Like they have everything you can think of, but what they do is there are different merchants that they say that they sell a certain item. And for me, I am always a little bit wary of buying things online, especially like these massive marketplaces. I would rather buy them in store if it's like a genuine brand that I'm looking for, like Nike or Adidas. But if it's just like tissue paper or I don't know, like a t-shirt or something like that, they have really great deals. So I think Shopee is just a great platform to like buy things that you need delivered to your house. So Shopee's parent company is C Group, which actually filed for like an IPO on the New York Stock Exchange in October 2017 for $2 billion. Basically, a lot of these e-commerce platforms have really benefited from COVID because everyone is at home and they're bored and they're just shopping. The next one I want to talk about is Ninja Van, which is a logistics company that was also started in Singapore. I actually spoke to their head of global expansion for work. It was like an interview and it was just very interesting because their PR team did all of the interview interactions, so I never really got in touch with her, so I'm not even sure if she actually did the interview. Maybe it was just like her PR team who wrote it for her. But she said something that really kind of stood out to me, and I'll read it. She said, "People across Southeast Asia value convenience and hassle-free solutions, and that commonality is shared among all countries. We need to translate that into on-the-ground solutions. That's why we cannot afford a one-size-fits-all approach." Kudos to her because it is really challenging leading the charge of global expansion into Southeast Asia. I feel like the market is like very fragmented, especially in Indonesia because there's just so much logistics involved. There are a lot of different islands to be delivering packages to. So they launched in 2014 and they became the region's largest last mile logistics company. And they have a network covering 6 countries across Southeast Asia, which includes Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, and Vietnam. Really like the first company to have real-time tracking updates. And that, I think, was really a game changer because people just wanted to know like where their packages are. I think getting updates make them feel like, oh, okay, good, my package is like safe and secure. And it kind of like builds up this anticipation of like getting your package. I think what they did really well was also create technology that helped streamline processes and efficiencies. Ninjavan put in a lot of money into discovering ways how to create efficiency through their logistics and their supply chain. There's a piece actually that said that they harnessed algorithms to optimize route deliveries and to save on fuel. So yeah, I mean, it's not just a logistics company, but also a tech company. According to the World Bank, Southeast Asian nations, with the exception of Singapore, consistently ranked poorly for logistics infrastructure due to like the region's fragmentation, which I mentioned before, and because of the geographic landscape and poor government planning. So I think Ninjavan, what they did was find an issue in this space and really like targeted it and went after it straight on. And they have also a very string of noteworthy investors like Monks Hill Ventures, the Facebook co-founder Eduardo Severin. He started like a B Capital venture fund here in Singapore. So very interesting story, side tangent. He is one of the co-founders of Facebook, and I was like reading up on his bio. So this guy left Facebook and actually gave up his US citizenship to get a Singaporean citizenship. So yeah, basically he is now running his own like firm here in Singapore, and he's an investor in Ninjavan. So that was kind of funny. I was like, a lot of rich people just live here in Singapore. And Grab also invests in them, as well as Golden Gate Ventures. I'm gonna throw in one more just because I feel like it's important, and this really surprised me as well. So I don't really think that they're a tech company per se, but they're involved in the e-gaming and esports. So most of my friends in the Bay Area have this chair, and it's very comfortable, it's nice, it's very sleek. Obviously it's like a premium chair, and it always has the same logo, which is called Secret Labs. So I was really shocked to find out that Secret Labs started here in Singapore, because I don't know why, I just didn't know I had any clue that this company started here. And they're started by like these 2 millennial young men, young founders who just wanted to create premium chairs. And now like you see these chairs everywhere. They're just like such a household name. Like you see them, it's just such a global company, and it amazes me because I'm not in the e-gaming industry at all. Like I don't know anything about it. I know like Fortnite, like that's, I don't even think that counts. Like League of Legends, Dota, whatever. But the whole idea is like they've created this strong brand that it's everywhere. Like it's globally renowned. Like people know about it. Like you could be in Brazil probably at like a gaming event, and there will be Secret Lab chairs. So it's been quite fascinating to like hear that and know that it started here in Singapore, because it's just such a well-known brand. And also, I think because of COVID and the whole people working from home situation, people had to set up their work spaces, and knowing Secret Labs, it's a very cushy chair. With COVID, their sales and like their branding has done very well, because people were buying Secret Lab chairs to have at home. So it wasn't just like gamers, but it was also like tech employees, like people who had to work from home all the time, buying these like really nice premium chairs. And then in November 2020, one of the founders, I think his name was Ang, he's like 28 years old, he won like EY's Entrepreneur of the Year. So really, I feel like this company will continue to do big things and great things. Again, I don't know much about the gaming industry, but if he could go into, I don't know, like tech pillows or pillows for tech employees, that would be great. Or something that would like help with our backs, because we definitely need that. Anyways, I hope that was interesting. I feel like these were pretty cool tech companies that I've never heard of before I came to Singapore. And they should be well known because Singapore also has its own tech hub here. And I can honestly say that it's going to continue growing because the amount of government funding and outside investment as well as local investment is just amazing. It's amazing to see. And I think I'm going to do a video on that, on like what the investors or like the VC scene looks like. I have a little bit of knowledge on it, so I'll see what I can come up with. But if you're watching this outside of Singapore, hope that this was informational and that you learned something new today. But other than that, see you soon, and don't forget to like, subscribe to this channel, and see you soon.